So in this episode, it kind of showed me why a lot of people like this anime series and why it was so popular that it got season 2. And I didn't really understand from season 1 because all I really, like I said before, it was like all I saw was like cringy show about, a couple pretty much that are, still in school. They're very cringy middle school, like I said. But this episode kind of puts into perspective with the whole thing and kind of reconstructs the context of season 1. Like, I might have thought of that in the beginning, but now after watching this episode, kind of put into perspective, like why they were so cringy. And in this episode, if you didn't watch it yet, it was a pretty great episode, especially towards the end where our main male character kind of realized that, oh, I'm going through these puberty pretty much. Like, you see his voice get deeper and like he's just growing, I guess. Like, his more thicker, his voice is deeper and everything. And Ichika, he's not the only one that's going through this change. We also see Yamada kind of go through the same changes, maybe not with the voice changes, but definitely like body parts, like we saw in this episode. And felt like it was a good representation of, like, it kind of reflects like normal relationships. Like, at first, like season 1, it starts off very cringy, very awkward. And then as you get older in season 2, you get to the point where, puberty pretty much kicks in for the boy and girl. So that kind of that just gives the kid a level of maturity. So I wonder, how their whole relationship will go now that they're undergoing this growing up change, this maturity, and how less cringy it will be now that they're maturing. And yeah, it just didn't really realize what I think. This is why I was just so surprised because I didn't really expect that like, honestly, I thought that they would like skip through it and just change them, but we actually see in this episode that slowly they're realizing that, oh, we're growing up, we're maturing. And like I said, he noticed the voice changes. He's getting thicker, and he also noticed that Yamada's also changing, like, her feminine body parts, I guess. And yeah, I just didn't really realize that. Because I thought like all this series was just following a cringy middle school couple, and part of it kind of is, but we also see them change. And it'll just be very exciting how the puberty, how much their relationship will change between them and and their classmate, because eventually they're gonna also go through puberty. So it'll be interesting how our characters kind of interact with each other and with other people. And especially Yamada, how will she now view her parents? Because I know me, when I was like, when teenagers go through puberty, for some reason they have, like, not disdained, but they're always bothered for by what their parent does every single time. So I wonder how that will change the relationship. Like, will Yamada start doing that? Like, will she get annoyed at everything she does? How will that go? And the one problem that will arise was after we see Ichika kinda escape Yamada's apartment, and while he's escaping, he's still wearing Yamada's jersey from elementary school. So as he's walking out, he kind of bumps into this man who I probably think most likely is Yamada's father. Seemed like it was portrayed like that, and you can see Yamada's father notices that on the jersey, like it is Yamada's jersey, so he knows that he just came from Yamada's house. So it'll be interesting how that whole situation will pan out. Like with him, with the dad knowing that like he escaped like the first impression. So that'll be interesting, especially after what happened in their first impressions. How that relationship will go and everything. But overall, I'm very surprised that this show, like I didn't think this show would include that. I thought it would just skip over it, but no, kind of puts in, like I said, it kind of puts into perspective what the show was. So we saw, so pretty much in the beginning in season one, we saw um kind of their their we see in season one that they're tiptoeing the line of almost puberty. So in season one, they're almost at puberty, and then in this episode of season two, we see them fully undergo the change. So, like I said, I'm just curious on how everything will change for them, because I know for me and some other people, when I went through puberty, like everything kind of changed. My world perspective kind of changed. So I wonder how the show will kind of paint that change in our characters that we see, with their relationship and how they treat other people, how they talk to other people, and how fast now will the relationship speed up to, because now we know like he's eventually gonna meet the pair probably next episode. And then now, like, not to get nasty, but also the sexual thing, because we know that Ichika is a horn dog. We saw in season one, and we saw it early in the episode that he is a horn dog. And with him at the end of the episode, also noticing his changes in Yamada's feminine part, like her bust and her, her body, pretty much her appearance. So I wonder how how that will change their relationship. Like, will they speed it up? Because I know for me, like when I went through puberty, I know it's gonna get nasty, but when I went through puberty, like a lot internally changed. Like, not only did, like, I guess you call it, like, my private parts also grew, like the girth and everything, but I also got like more hornier, pretty much. Like, like you just have that in you, like you're horny all the time. And that was like until I was like 17, I'd say. So until like high school. And we see our main characters that are still middle school. So I wonder like how that will accelerate, like with the sexual tension between our characters. I do wonder how their relationship will progress. Like, will it progress like in the fast way, like good way, like after middle school they'll still be together, or will that somehow them going through puberty, will that somehow like end the relationship or something? Like, will it put a wedge in the relationship? And then yeah, it'll just be interesting, especially with Yamada, because she's very like extroverted. Like, we see her like she's the popular girl in class, and it'll be interesting to see, like, aside from her going through puberty, her female friends in class will also go through puberty. So that'll be interesting to see like how they interact with the girl side of the classroom. And then, not to get like nasty or anything, but early in the episode, when they were like in judo or whatever, Ichika said something about like, oh, like something about Yamada, like she's probably smelly or something. Or like, no, Ichika, I think Ichika, his main point was that I don't want Yamada to dance with anyone else, because they might notice her like kind of smelly, and I don't want that. So why don't she dance with me? Like, I'd be a partner. And then the guy we saw earlier, I think in season 1, he comes out the cut and he said, smiley girls are the best, right? And then, it'll just be interesting to see how he develops too, because we know his fetish. For some reason, he's into like smiley girls. Like, that was his like fetish, I guess. And we saw it in season 1. And so, as we go into seeing Ichika go through puberty, it'll be interesting to see how he deals with puberty, because we know that every person goes through puberty different. So it'll be interesting to see, like, while he's going through puberty, like, will he kind of lose that kink he has of liking small girls, or will it like go away completely? Because to me, I mean, I'm just a random guy, but to me, liking small girls specifically is kind of, I don't know, I just classify that as weird. So I wonder if puberty will somehow change that for him, and how he'll handle it and everything. So overall, pretty interesting. I definitely did not expect this show to go through to kind of go through this, showing the puberties of our main characters and everything. But I will say that, now thinking about it, maybe season 1 wasn't like maybe in season 1 I should have stuck with it, because I think I stopped in like episode 2 or 1, and then I didn't watch it ever again, because to me it was like very cringy. But now thinking about it, maybe I should have watched it, because it kind of shows like the relationship, like how they progress so far until season 2, where they undergo this this growth spurt, also this change. So honestly, it'll be very interesting to see how this whole thing will go moving forward. And I don't know, it just really got me hooked. I didn't really expect that to go that way, and it just has me very hooked. And I can't wait to watch more in the future. But I think I'm gonna just leave it at that. Please leave a like, subscribe, and once again, I think it was a pretty cool episode. Very, like, I didn't expect this show to go, so very unexpected, but I still like it. And like I said, it'll just be interesting going forward with the episode. But I think I'm gonna just leave it at that. Please leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Thank you.